sticking with it. I'm proud of her. We don't have a disappointments room. We have a chamber of commitments in my home. Trying to work on the communication with my wife. Married couples. Yeah, see, my wife gets hangry. Hungry, angry. I don't get hungry, angry. I get horngry. Horny, angry. My friend's like, you never been horngry? You don't really just enjoy a cheeseburger? Why? Can you fuck it? Then no, I don't enjoy a cheeseburger that much. Guys, if you want to know whether or not you get horny, here's what you got to do. You got to take your emotional temperature before and after orgasm. See, I'll go from wanting to strangle my children to death and firing a defective can opener directly through the drywall to having a bowl of Lucky Charms and taking a nap. Ladies, if you want to know whether or not your man gets horny, here's what you got to do. Buy a large piece of furniture, okay? Something that requires a lot of assembly, like something from IKEA. Let him get to about the midway point in its construction and just suck his dick. See if those damn instructions don't make a lot more sense. He'll be like, oh, AA goes to BB. Honey, I was wrong. They did put all the parts in the box. I take back everything derogatory I just said about Chinese people. My wife, she goes on a crash diet every year at this time to try to lose a little bit of the weight. And I can always tell because she starts slathering her insecurities over every single phrase that I utter. It could be like the simplest thing, like, gee, honey, it's a nice day. We should take the kids to the park. She's like, oh, what, why? So you can look at all the skinny bitches in their skimpy outfits instead of thinking about your family? You know what? Fuck you! Don't think I haven't noticed how much I've been texting you, piece of shit! I'm like, God damn, baby, did you eat today? She starts crying. She's like, you just think I'm some big fat cow who needs to eat all the time, every day. You have no idea where this is. I'll fucking kill you! So look, I'm gonna make you a sandwich and you can wash it down with one of Mama Sutterhome out of Ann smoothies, okay? That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a great show. Michael Harrison's here tonight. Give it up for Jason Imler!
Please keep it going for Mr. Jordan Treese. Thank you, Jordan. Next up, we have a great Altoona girl. You have heard her on Sirius XM. She's in Ladies of Laughter and in clubs all over. Ms. Amy Liska.
Jason, everyone. Jason. Thank you. Yes, my name is Amy Liska, and I am from Altoona. Yes, thank you. I'm very proud of that. But that did sound like an AA introduction. You guys, that did. It's good to be back. No, honestly, this wasn't here before when I was here. What bar fight happened that this had to happen? Okay, is this the beginning of Donald Trump's wall? I don't get it. But this is nice. This is nice. I like it. It's a nice little separation. Okay, all right, we're doing this, you guys. We're doing this. Happy New Year's, everyone. This is so exciting. I was reflecting about my New Year's. Last year at this time, I quit my job that I had for 12 years. Just quit it. Yeah, okay, no applause. I get it. Thank you. I quit my job. And I realized that this is what happens. You quit your job when you read one too many self-help books. That's just what happened, okay? Yeah. In self-help, they're always telling you, raise your standards. And my standards was that I was too good for money all of a sudden. Yes. I'll tell you what, you guys, the money won. Yes, the money won. I'm broke right now, you guys. Broke. Gonna be on the corner panhandling later. That's what happened. Also, last year, I did this thing called a cleanse. If you guys don't know what a cleanse is, it's just a fancy word for saying that you starved yourself. Starved myself for an entire month. That's what I did. Basically, I wasn't allowed to have soy, dairy, gluten, or sugar. So they basically kicked me out of the food chain. That's what they did. I was talking to my health consultant during this cleanse. Yes, I had a health consultant during this cleanse I had, because actually that health consultant was one of my girlfriends who got involved with the pyramid scheme, and now I had to buy her product. Okay, that's all that was. I was like, I gave her $300 for this. $300. And I was like, okay, Becky, my health consultant, who I've known since preschool, what can I eat? And she was like, well, you can have things like almonds, you can have avocado, you can have strawberries. I was like, get back to me when you're not giving me ingredients, okay? Where's the freaking meal? And then, this was another thing. Because I spent money on this, she's like, oh, I'm gonna send stuff to you in the mail of things that you can eat. I'm thinking this is gonna be great. I'm gonna get prepaid meals that I can just get up and go. You know what that was? It was powder. I got $300 worth of powder. I was like, I hope I'm gonna get so thin, this powder is so I can go to space, okay? That's exactly. So, she was like, and then on top of this, as I'm doing this diet, she yells at me because I was like, hey, I bought a banana today. And she's like, oh, you can't have a banana. A banana, thank you. Thank you. I graduated from Altoona Area High School. Thank you guys. Sorry. Thank you. So, I was like, I can't have a banana. And she's like, well, you can have a banana if you go on our Facebook group that you should sign up for. We do this thing called We Work Out for a Banana. Work out for a banana. Work out for a banana. Is anyone on the same page as me? Work out for a banana? I was like, I only work out for heroin, okay? That's what I work out for. Stop it. Work out for a banana. So overall, I guess I felt better. I didn't actually lose too much weight. Turns out on this cleanse, you can't cheat, okay? I cheated all through this cleanse. And I would always say that this is, like, I would be like, well, I wouldn't normally be eating this. Never mind, doesn't even matter. I'm trying to justify why I cheated. It just isn't. Yeah, I came from Altoona Area High School. I'm just, you guys. One thing I also learned this year, you guys, is I'm a millennial. Yeah. I'm shocked because I had no idea this entire time that I was a millennial. No idea. And I was like, you're shitting me. You mean I've been complaining about myself this whole time? I've been the problem that I've been complaining about? What? And I was like, well, I'm old. I'm at the tail end of millennials. Like, I remember dial-up, but it's like I made the cut somehow. I'm like, hey, I'm still hip. But I'm like, how am I millennial? And they're like, oh, well, it's basically a generation of 2 decades. I was like, wait, you mean millennials are having millennials and complaining about each other? It's like, stop being such a millennial, Mom. This doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, I kind of understood that I was a true millennial. Because I was like, the fact that I didn't know that I was a millennial this whole time is so millennial of me. Anyone else? Okay. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I'm not smart, just like Jordan was saying. He's from here too. Okay, so I'm not this smart person, but it's like, I hated when people would brag about their IQs to me. It's like, we don't need IQs, okay? We don't need them. This whole, like, I'm 140 and I'm a genius. You know how I know that, like, 140 and above is genius? It's because people with an IQ of 140 like to tell me that, okay? I'm like, oh, you're so smart, you just don't know how humility works at all. That's how it is. But for me, I feel like you don't need an IQ. Life will just tell you where you stand. For instance, last week I had my thong on backwards, okay? That's just where I'm at, okay? And also, there's tests as you grow up, exactly where you stand. For me, my first test was how long I believed in Santa Claus for, okay? I'm just saying, my mom tried to have the birds and the bees talk with me because I finally became a woman. And then she said, ask me any question and I will tell you the truth. And I looked at her dead in her eyes and I was like, is Santa Claus real? And she said, I do not need to tell you about sex. You are a nerd. You are never going to get laid. So that was that, okay? Virgin forever. No, I don't know. I feel though it's like I'm getting older, you guys. Anyone else getting older? Nope. Yeah. Okay. The back, yes. I'm getting older. I notice when I'm getting older because of just how I complain about things now. Anyone else? Okay, I love your hand, Bob. She's like, yes, I complain all the time too. We're like the same. No. For me, my sense of fear has gone skyrocket. I used to be a daredevil when I was younger. I went to the Grand Canyon this year. My parents are trying to murder me, okay? I can't handle it. Has anyone been to a Grand Canyon? Okay. Basically, any sort of national park now, I think needs to just be, that's where you go to kill people. Because have you ever gone to a national park, you see these signs, you're on your own. It's like, go for this hike. There's tons of coyotes. See the sights. We don't care. Kill yourself. I don't know why people aren't bringing people to the Grand Canyon to kill, like, someone that they don't like anymore. I just say next time you get into a fight with someone you don't like. I don't want to say significant other, okay? Is that too telling now? Next time you say, oh, honey, let's put this behind us. Let's just book a ticket. Any national park you want. Yellowstone, I'm sorry, officer. She wanted to see how the glazer work? Geyser? I'm from Altoona Area High School. I'm sorry. Geyser, thank you. No. And this is I'm just throwing this part in. I literally saw my nephew today. He got a hoverboard for Christmas. I about had a heart attack. I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. You're gonna die. All right. No, as I'm also getting older, I complain about a lot of things all the time. I complain all the time now. I moved to New York City about a long time ago. That's another thing too. As you get older, you don't really tell your age. It's like, you don't. And it's funny because I was watching this talk show too. And she's like, I don't know why people get so uptight about their age. I tell everyone that I'm 55. And I'm like, that's because you have a talk show. Okay? You've made it in life. You're fine. With me, when I say my age, I'm being an asshole. That's what it, or I only do one or the other. I give you my occupation or my age. You don't get both of them anymore. That's what you do. That's just, you don't. Okay, you guys aren't with me. It's fine. I'm with you. No. But what I noticed was when I moved to New York City, I used to think everything was magical when I was younger. I was like, oh my gosh, look, I'm in Times Square. You know what's so cool about being in Times Square? There are cops on horses. And now, when I'm in Times Square, I'm like, why the fuck is a cop on a horse? Where are my tax dollars going? I'm having panic attacks about trying to make my bills, and I see a cop on a stallion. I'm pretty sure one of those stallions cost at least the same price as 5 Hondas. 5 Hondas, okay? I just don't understand. And why is this rookie on this horse? I'm like, I'm like, can this rookie not handle 700 horsepower? They have to give him 1 horse? Is this what it's come to now? The thing is that, like, stallions are expensive. They're not just, they're expensive. The only place that I ever see a gaggle of horses now is, like, oil billionaires in the NYPD. It's crazy, you guys. It's crazy. And I also, you guys have to understand this, why I get so mad about this, is that Times Square right now is it's the #1 place for like, a terrorist attack. Times Square. We have like tons of people who are just ready to go if something happens. Right in Times Square. And all I can think of is how is a horse gonna help that situation out? It's like, I thought an M16 would help me. You mean we're going back to the 16th century? Like, joust, madame, back up, you bum. It's just, I don't know. I just would love to also see that report if like a bomb did go off too in Times Square. It's like, oh, so many people got injured by bomb debris, but millions got hurt by trampling horses that do not like loud boom noises at all. Oh God, you guys. I watch a lot of TV. Anyone else? Okay. I love you. Okay, you guys don't see what I'm seeing. This lady in the back keeps raising her hand. I love you. You're great. You're great. I paid her earlier. It's fine. I was watching this documentary about Ric Flair. Anyone know Ric Flair? I'm in Altoona. Okay. Woo! Woo! Oh, I didn't even see you guys over there. Hello. Hello. Hi. So I was watching this documentary about Ric Flair. If you don't know who Ric Flair is, that means you didn't grow up with a pet lizard or a mullet, okay? You guys know who I'm talking about. But Ric Flair is an iconic wrestler of the 80s. He is. He's an iconic wrestler of the 80s. And he was known for that woo noise, which was very popular. Like, woo! That was his thing. And he had the best ladies, the best cars, everything. And in the documentary, Ric Flair said, I got so into my character. If I did it as my character, I did it in real life. And I was like, oh my gosh, Ric Flair doesn't understand what the word character means at all. We're in trouble. But then right away, this is true. Ric Flair, the documentary asked the guy right away, he's like, well, if it's true that you've had so many women, how many women have you really slept with? And he said, honestly, about 10,000. 10,000. Okay, you guys come with me. 10,000 is like the size of a small city. Altoona, Pennsylvania. Okay. I actually looked up the population for before this joke. You guys are up to 40,000 because you like to fuck. Okay, that's what I realized. No, but I mean, it's just like, have you guys ever gone door to door trying to like Girl Scout cookies door to door? I mean, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh my gosh, if that's true. That means Ric Flair is the new Genghis Khan. If you guys don't know who Genghis Khan is, you guys haven't done your ancestry DNA test, okay? Because he's known for sleeping with so many people back in the day that all of us have a little bit of Mongolian in us, okay? We're all sort of related to him. That's true. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, let me just put it this way. Ric Flair has slept with so many people, about 84% of everyone's aunts in this room has slept with him. That's true, okay? That's just a fact. And okay, this is another test. I just want you to look to the person on your left. Look to the person on your left, okay? And look to whoever's on your right. And then look straight ahead. And just all admit that we've all fucked Ric Flair, okay? That's what we're... Just admit it. But also, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great that he's going to become the new Genghis Khan. Because, like, people are going to be going to the doctors being like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my kid. And the doctor's going to be like, that's not Tourette's, that's the Ric Flair gene. Woo! 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 All I could think too with Ric Flair is that I like him too. That's why I slept with him. She just said I like Ric Flair. Everyone loves Ric Flair, but I wanna like say this too. if Ric Flair, because I feel like this has a little bit of hope for everyone. If Ric Flair has slept with that many people, with 10,000 people, and not had one Me Too allegation against him, you guys can do it too, okay? Consent is a real thing, people. Consent is a real thing. I love it. On that note, I do have a boyfriend. Consent, I feel like I need to give his consent for saying that all the time. No, I always say that because it's taken me a long time to get a boyfriend. Like, I was single for a long time. It's like, to the fact where, you know, when you're single for so long, your mom becomes your pimp. Does that ever happen to anyone? It's just like, I love Altoona. Someone just said Marlene. That's my mom, guys. Hello. Told that joke so many times that someone actually calls out my mom. Like, you go, Marlene. I remember when you were trying to pitch Amy to me also one time. I was like, I can't, you know, I have things to do today. Yeah, I can't do it. No, she really did. You know, it's just like I remember too my one friend when I finally introduced my boyfriend. They were like, my one friend said, "Aren't you glad now that your parents met your boyfriend that they know that you're not gay?" And I'm like, what? Know that I'm not gay? Well, now I know that you thought that I was gay this whole time. No, I was like, my parents would have loved for me to be gay. I was single for so long. They were like scared that I was going to come home with this microphone. I'm like, Mom, Dad, I finally found something that will let me talk. No, it's the one thing that I do resent about my boyfriend is that he lives with me now. He lives with me. Okay, I will tell you the reason why I say this is because I came from Altoona and I went to New York about 15 years ago to become a famous actress and movie star. And every single time when I come home, my friends will be like, "What have you done in New York? What movies have you been in?" And I said, well, you know, I have been able to live in New York City for 15 years, have a one-bedroom apartment by myself, and pay my rent on time every month, which gets a huge applause break in New York City. Okay? And every single time I come to Altoona, they always say, "I don't know what movie that is." Okay? Because rent is so freaking expensive there. But now my boyfriend lives with me, and I have made no accomplishments anymore. I have no more bragging rights, and I resent him for it. But now it's a lot cheaper, okay? And I love him for that. But but also when I was single for so long, I feel like I have to leave you guys with like a little bit of this history and also a little bit of I like leaving with this because it leaves on a positive note. So when I was single for so long, friends like to give you advice that's horrible, right? They like to give you, has anyone been single for like a long time, like 10 years, 20 years? Okay, all right. People will give you horrible advice. Like my friends used to be like, "Oh, the reason why you're still single is because your standards are so high." I'm like, okay, that's great. Maybe I should go out with my cousin Miguel. Like, I know he's kind of into me, you know? It's just like, but I just don't understand that. And it's like, you know how they, because what they're saying to you is that they actually have lower standards for you than you do of yourself. That's what they're saying to you. And you also know how they even like hook you up. They're like, "Hey, I have this great guy for you. He works at this franchise called the Walmart." I'm like, I'm not going out with Bobby again. I'm not. I've tried him already. I'm not. No. So, I'm going to leave you with this. I don't think anyone should lower their standards for anyone across the board. That's just, you just don't. You will find happiness. You will find the person that you want to be with. And this is, thank you. Thank you for the one clap. I'm trying to be heartfelt here. Heartfelt. No. No, but this is what I did to get my guy, and I'm very happy now. Basically, you go after that person that you want to be with. You wait for them to lower their standards, and then you snag them. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Amy Liska.
Altoona. You guys having a great time? All right, good to hear, good to hear. We're going to keep it going. Your next comic is on Sirius XM and just finished the New York Comedy Festival. Please welcome Jake Bevra.
Yeah.
Thank you, Altoona. How we feeling? Happy New Year. You feeling good? Good. I'm liking the energy in here, man. I'm liking the energy in here. Give it up for your host one more time. Give it over, Justin. How the hell do I get a suit like that? I fucking love that guy's suit. How cool is that guy's suit, huh?
Yeah.
I like him. He looks like a banker, but like a fun banker. Ones that launders money for the mob and stuff in the movies.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for Justin, he always ends up dead in the movie, doesn't he? You know? Halfway through every mob movie, he's tied up in the back of a car going, I didn't snitch, Tony, I didn't snitch. Hey, fuck you, you'll talk to the feds, man. That's how he goes out every movie. No, I like that. Dude, this guy, you have a cool look, man. Give it up for this guy's mustache. Holy shit, I love this guy's mustache. It's a tough, fun look. He looks like Jake the Snake Roberts if he took care of himself after wrestling, you know? If he only did yoga since the time he quit wrestling and zero crack, you know? It's a good look. This is a fun look. This whole corner over here, this looks like the Breakfast Club if you guys were all in detention for selling Molly. Millennial Breakfast Club. I'm an Instagram influencer, teacher. I don't have to listen to your rules. It's cool. I like this guy. I like the little side table over here, man. This guy's beard, it's a fun beard. It's a beard that says, I own an assault rifle, okay? But it's hollowed out and filled with weed, you know? Right? That way, if he gets pulled over, the cops will be like, search everything in this car. I don't need a warrant. Except for that rifle. That's his Second Amendment right. You don't touch the rifle. My God, it worked again, man. Light the barrel. Light the barrel. They're gone. Clear the AR. I liked it. It looks like there's a lot of couple in here. Quick round of applause. Who here is in a relationship? See, that was better. That was a delayed round of applause. And that means you've been drinking. That's fun, you know? Couples that drink together stay together. That's a good, my grandma used to say that growing up. She used to throw rocks glasses too, so, you know, not a perfect lady, admittedly, but still, they stayed together forever. No, I'm in a relationship now, and I think it's going to go the distance. Why? Because we both drink. Dating alcoholics is way better than dating non-alcoholics. It just is. You guys ever dated a sober person? Oh my God, I did that before. I mean, They'll leave you just for getting drunk and pissing in their bed once. I say, go. Let them go. Go back to Salt Lake City, Sharon. I found someone here who loves me for who I am. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me when I'm not soaked in my own urine, I believe. Marilyn Monroe said that. But no, I've been in a relationship for the past 4 years. Before we started dating, my girlfriend told me that she had her eggs frozen for $13,000. Oh, it's right. That's what I said in that same tone. I sounded like Mickey Mouse. What's up? That's what I said. And then she got this sad look in her eye. And I was like, I do. I meant other than the two of us. Who else wants a kid that bad? But no, $13,000. It's half of your brains are sitting there going, I didn't know it cost that much. And the other half of your brains are sitting there going, I didn't know this guy could hook up with a rich lady. Jesus Christ. Kind of proud of this twangy dude. He outpunted his coverage. Good for him. Well, I can't. They let poor women do it now. You pay it off for decades, like student loans for your ovaries. Yeah. When my girlfriend's halfway done paying them off, she'll be giving birth to a kid who also kind of looks like Steve Buscemi a bit. This is not the kind of baby you want to pay $13,000 for. All mad every time he acts up. I'll put you back in the freezer, you goofy-looking bastard. The doctor said you wouldn't act like this. Shut up. No, $13,000. You know what my new favorite part about male privilege is? Way cheaper freezing sperm, is it not, gentlemen? Huh? All we need is hand lotion and ice cube trays. That's it. Just generation after generation all day long.
A dozen future babies to a tray. The only secret is what? Not mixing up your ice cube trays. Learn the hard way, people. Yes. Quickest way to ruin your mojito. Quickest way, right there. Mojitos are not supposed to be briny. They are not supposed to be briny. And everybody at my niece's birthday party knew exactly what happened. They had very good palates. It's not like a margarita when you can just go crazy. This was a fall time drink. But no, my girlfriend recently dragged me to see the movie Cats. That grossed them out more than drinking jizz. Notice that. That table moaned the loudest at the jizz drinking ice cubes, and they were like, ew, that's gross. And they were like, Cats, no. I couldn't even take a sip while he said that. Cats the musical on cinema screen. No, it is just as bad as it. Yeah, it's as bad as it looks like on the previews. They've actually, they're taking the movie back out of the theaters or something to change. They're fixing, since the release of the movie, some of the CGI, because they're like, well, you can see some of the hands in some of the scenes. That's not what was weird about that movie. It's how goddamn sexy you felt the need to make cats. What are you doing? What did you? It was like an Island of Dr. Monroe softcore porn with dancing. Like, no. What are you doing? It looks like somebody wanted to make a kids movie but didn't realize that most other people aren't also attracted to cats. I don't know. It's a weird combo. It's a weird Venn diagram you're hoping to hit there. Family friendly wants to bone felines, you know? That's our demo. And then they pitched that, and then Hollywood was like, here's $150. Go! You got this. You got this. Dude, it's, you know what though? I'm glad they made the movie though. It's worth it just to get online and read the negative reviews for Cats. Oh, it's so good, right? The best one, my favorite one that I read, it just simply said, Cats the movie, congratulations to dogs. How much fun is it? Places that don't review movies are making reviews. Infowars.com said that Cats the musical was so bad that the CIA is using it to interrogate whistleblowers in underground detention centers underneath the Pentagon. It's in the movie. Just read between the lines. No, I made that one up. There was one guy in the back going, I follow InfoWars. Alex Jones never said that, you lying fuck. Fake news, sir. Put him back on Twitter. Never made that review. He loves cats. He loves the movie Cats. But no, it's funny because people say when they went to the movies to see the movie Joker, they got nervous when they saw like a dude sitting alone watching the movie. I was nervous when I saw dudes alone at Cats. What the hell? What is he doing there? I went up to him before the movie. I was like, you better love musical theater, pal. Like, name me 3 Tony Award-winning actors now. Do it. I don't have to name. I'm dragged here by a lady, a human lady, without a tail, the sick bastard. I'm in the back. I got my eye on you, sir. If I see that one shoulder going up and down more than 3 times, I will throw my shoe at you like you were George Bush giving a speech in Baghdad. But I did recently go see the movie Joker too. Much better than Cats. You guys seen Joker? It's a good one. It's a good one. No, I wanted to wait to see it, right? Because I, just like you, didn't want to be slain by an incel in the movies, you know? Because I was worried about it because the news kept saying that was going to happen. They were like, sad boys that can't get laid are going to shoot this movie up. So I'm like, it hasn't even come out yet, Vice. What are you doing? Don't put it in there. In their heads, they're crazy. I want to see this movie. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, why would incels shoot up the Joker? This is the most pro-goddamn incel movie I've ever seen in my life. This is their Braveheart. Joker is Taxi Driver for men who've never been inside a woman. It is, man. It's so pro-incel. I've started wearing Joker shirts underneath all my other shirts in case I'm shot at by an incel. I just, look, I'm one of the good ones, huh? You wouldn't put a bullet through the face of incel Jesus, would you, Trevor? Huh? That's an involuntary celibate sin, it is. No, incel terror. What a sorry-ass brand of terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Sad terrorist? That's not, you know. I have so little respect for those guys. If one of them shoots me in the movie, I'll be like roasting him as I'm bleeding out. I fucked a woman last night. How's it make you feel, Kyle? Huh? Make you sad? Little sad boy? Only one of us die in a virgin today. You couldn't get laid if you had Ryan Gosling growing out of your pubes. Smell my fingers, Kyle. First time to smell the pussy since you were born. You suck. Oh, yeah. It was the movie Joker. Wait, what'd you think of it? You said it was okay? Oh. I thought you were giving a review to the movie. Anybody else? Quick movie reviews while I've paused. What else? It was a good year for movies, man. What else was a good movie? Quick, yell out the best movie you've seen all year.
Knives Out.
Knives Out? Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. God damn it! I thought I'd have something interesting to say. It was way better than the prequel Knives In. Knives In was shittier than Cats the Musical, the movie. No, I rewatched the first Terminator movie because I watched the new Terminator. How shitty was the new Terminator movie? That was bad. That was the worst thing. Schwarzenegger regrets making that movie more than banging his mate. It's a bad movie. There's some sequels just don't work anymore. Like, say what you want about Liam Neeson, admittedly not great off the cuff in interviews, okay? That being said, at least he turned down making Taken 4. He was like, no more of these goddamn movies. How many times is this guy's daughter gonna get kidnapped and sold into sex slavery before the name of the movie is just bad parenting? No. You've taken my daughter for the last time, you hear me? This time I'm serious. No Taken 4. No, I like, how long you two been together? Too long. Oh, come on. What's the real answer? Is it still too long? She just got, oh my God! I just watched a sad breakup happen right in the front seat. I was about to say, well, they're sitting so close to the stage. Clearly have a great relationship, not afraid of being roasted at all. Like 16 years. Wow. I had to interrogate that out of her, you know what I mean? I had to waterboard that number out of her. Sorry, I'm sorry. Well, you know, I'm sure, well, you know, here's to 2020 being a better one, huh? 17, magical number, you know? How about you two? More or less than 16 years? Way less? How much? You gonna make me guess? 5 months? Nice. No, 5 months is great. Here's why, because that's after the 3-month hump. Because the first 3 months, you're not dating a person, you're dating their Twitter profile. You know what I'm saying? Their little Tinder bio. They're just, I mean, it's nothing but pro-them propaganda, you know? It's just news about them if it's like North Korean state-run media and you're Kim Jong-un or something. It's lies. It's all lies. My girlfriend for the first 3 months, she thought that I love to rub feet. That ain't a thing. There's foot fetish guys, but those guys, they're doing weird stuff with them. They're going, what gets me hot? Giving a lady a nice foot rub for an hour while she watches The Bachelorette. Yeah. Really gets me going. Yeah, there's none of those guys. They don't exist. Maybe in Disney movies, but no. I'm not Prince Foot Rub, it turns out. That was my name on Tinder. Was Prince Foot Rub. I ain't that guy. No, it's, I found the secret, I think, to having a good relationship, and that is being over 30 when you start dating. That's huge. It was because when I was in my 20s, I dated women in their 20s, and that was awful. It's not that there's anything wrong with women under 30. It's just that your standards haven't been driven way down by other dudes yet, you know? Like, I need a nice little bar, if you can't tell that by listening to me for the last 10 minutes, eh? Like, no, women in their 20s, they still expect, like, the last 3 guys from The Bachelorette, a credit score of over 550, and no mental illnesses. Like, none of those things, people. I wander the streets muttering to voices in my head about how we can't even get approved for a Macy's card now, guys. Oh, we suck. All of us in here suck. No, my girlfriend now, she's perfect. We were over 30 when we met. She has no expectations for me whatsoever. This is a sentence she said when we first started dating. She wasn't being sarcastic in any way. She said, "I love the fact that you wear belts every day." What the hell is that? Belts every day? I have no idea what her exes did, but I'm glad they did it, because I get to show up balding, chunky, shirt never buttoned, wearing a belt, crushing it, people. Goddamn crushing it. Yes. Yeah, I even wore one here for New Year's. Bam, look at that. Women over 30 going crazy in here. Bam, bam, I hit them with it twice. I don't know what to do. They're speaking in tongues, rolling around on the floor. Women under 30, bam, he sucks. I don't like him at all. Looked like somebody dropped Jim Brewer on his face and they gave him a lot of pizza, you know? Women 29 and a half, bam, I can totally do better than him, but I gotta get on it now. No more. 2020's my year. 2020's my year. But no, I just recently rewatched my favorite documentary. It's on YouTube. It's about sex robots. I've seen it 17 times. It's amazing. It's about sex, because it makes me feel so good about myself. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I'm not exactly crushing it in life. You know, I've never had looks or money or fame. I've also never had my dick in a toaster with tits. So, better than the fellas on this by a lot. It said in this documentary that sex robots start off at $7,000. Yeah. I want to see a video of a guy using a sex robot for the first time, you know? I just want to see his switch in disposition, because I don't know if any of you guys in here have ever had orgasms before, but right after a guy finishes, least horny he'll ever be in his life, you know? Every guy in here is Mother Teresa for like half an hour. You just want to put your pants back on and make the world a better place, you know? Right before, though? Opposite, most horny a guy is. So horny that some men literally go insane from it. And I'm not saying women don't get worked up before they finish. I'm just saying that when a person is arrested for masturbating with a raincoat while staring intensely into the window of an Olive Garden and making this face right here, it is a dude every time. Every time. Always has, but then he comes to right away, doesn't he? He's like, oh my God, it happened again. No. I don't even know whose raincoat this is. How did I get a raincoat? I have a family. I need to tell them I love them, and then I will make the world a better place. That's why I want to see the video of the guy with the real dog, because he's going to know instantly what a bad investment that $7,000 was, right? He's going to be like, oh my God, this robot is so real, and it could have been a car. Son of a bitch, man. It could have been a car. I can't return this thing now. All machines depreciate by 100% when you jizz inside any part of the machine. And if any friends of mine ever get a sex robot, God help them, because I will break into their homes and I will get very good with computers and I will hack that robot's mainframe and maybe just start recording over some of the stuff. Like when it's moaning while they're inside of it with dead eyes and its head cocked to the side and it's just going, you're so big, or whatever Apple programmed me to say. I'm just going to switch it up to where it just goes, Hey, it's Jake, what's up, man? I hacked your sex robot. Yeah, you're probably gonna finish anyway, because you spent like $7,000 on it. Gonna be weird when we see each other at work again, bro. Gonna be real weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the moaning. Enjoy the rest of your evening. No, just kidding, it's still me. I'm still here, buddy. You're inside my sex robot, and yeah, I'm inside of you, or whatever. Right? This could have been a car, Kyle. This could have been a car. What are you doing? Anyway, hey, you guys have been fun, man. Give it up for your host one more time. Happy New Year.
Please keep it going for Mr. Jake Malcolm.